Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm Right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Hey, sweetheart.
How you doing, Jill?
I'm great.
You know, I would like to see you someplace.
See me someplace?
Yes. I
Like
would
where?
like to see you on a tropical island.
Okay.
So,
By ourselves?
By ourselves. So we
Okay.
don't have to worry about COVID because we'll be on our own tropical island where there's no one else.
And how do we get there? Because I'm not getting in a plane.
You're not getting in a plane.
Nope. Not
Well,
now.
We'll go by submarine. How
A
about
little
that?
yellow submarine.
The yellow submarine.
Okay.
Yes.
I've always been fascinated by submarines. So, okay.
Yes, we'll go by submarine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that when you put your bikini on.
I haven't worn a bikini since you met me. You've never seen me in a bikini.
Dan, you are definitely overdue. All right.
Well, in the interim, until you could get the submarine ready and all of that, I'll put a little kiddie pool in the backyard or something.
No.
Or on the patio.
No.
We can pretend that's where we are.
No.
No? I'll make you a pretty drink.
No.
No? Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to work on that.
Yes, we will.
Well, let's get
what?
to today's topic or this week's topic, which is tough topics, tough talk.
Tough topics, tough talk.
Yes, it's part of a segment we call
Stand by your stance.
So, one of my tough topics that I don't like to discuss, I don't like to do, is go to the doctor. I don't like having any conversations with my doctor. I don't.
You don't even like having conversations with me about you going to the doctor.
Yes, because you'll tell me as soon as I say, "Oh, I don't feel well. These are my symptoms." You'll say, "Go to the doctor," and I'll say, "It's not that bad yet."
Yeah, Jill, but usually I'm not a person that will want to go to the doctor just all the time, but right. I do go to the doctor like I'm supposed to. So I wouldn't suggest it to you.
Well, we have different things, different needs, medical needs.
Yeah, but Jill, most of the time when I say, Jill, you should go to the doctor, you don't go. And then a few weeks later, you might decide to go. And then the doctor says, "What's wrong with you? You've been walking around with bronchitis for 3 weeks."
Yes.
You've been going to the doctor. So this is a tough, listeners, this is a tough talk for us because I'm always telling Jill because I'm concerned about her health and I know she's at risk that, sometimes she needs to go to the doctor and see what's going on.
Do you know why I don't go to the doctor?
Because you've had bad experiences with doctors.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Because many times, and you will never know what this is like, but many times I think because I'm a woman, and I can have a female doctor, and I think doctors, and I'm sorry for all the doctors out there, but many of the doctors I have met have been quite dismissive of my complaints and my symptoms. They've been quite dismissive. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. But I know my body and I know that something is.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take the time to go to see a doctor, I expect you to take me seriously. And often that does not happen. So when I do go to the doctor, the last thing I want them to say is nothing's wrong. So I go when I know they can't say nothing is wrong. Because I've had it for so long. So they cannot deny that something is wrong. That's why I wait.
But it still shouldn't be a tough talk for us.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not. My tough talk, tough topic is with the doctor.
It's a tough talk for me because you don't want to listen to me about going to the doctor.
But I do go to the doctor.
Eventually,
but I just told you why I wait.
Not a good enough reason. Sorry.
Well, do you have
But
any tough topics that are
I do.
tough to talk about?
Yes.
That's a tongue twister.
Tough talk.
Tough topics
Tough topics
that are tough
talk.
to talk about.
Yes. Yes, I do. And I think many people in their relationships, committed relationships, have this problem, which is money and bills.
Yeah, I don't like numbers. So, bills and money, you got to count it, and balance it out and all of that. So
it took a little while in Jill and I's relationship to get on the same page on money and bills, because I would always, open my bills, pay my bills, open my bills, pay my bills. But Jill, and I don't like to do bills either. Nobody does. And
some people do.
And Jill,
I don't like to do bills. It wasn't Jill that I couldn't pay them or wouldn't.
No,
I just don't like to deal with that.
La-di-da.
But we resolved that because now you do the bills.
Yes, now I do the bills. Yes, but even having a conversation with you, because I try to keep you informed of what I'm doing with our money, right?
You do, yes.
And I'll say, well, Jill, I did this, I did that, did this, and we need to, hold back on something, or, whatever it is, and the response I get from you most of the time is, I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
You start spewing all of these numbers, and it makes my head hurt. Numbers make my head hurt. It really does.
That's
an honest response.
That sounds like something I would say. It makes my brain hurt. Oh, God. So that sounds odd coming from you, Jill.
It does?
Yes.
Why?
That thinking about numbers makes your brain
hurt. It really
does.
It truly does.
But you're so smart. You're a smart woman. Very intelligent.
I'm smart with certain things, not everything.
Well, I don't like doing bills either.
But you're really good at it. And between the two of us, you're far better. Like 1,000% better at it.
Yeah, I don't like doing, but I am better at it than you. So
yes, 1,000%. Yeah. I agree with that.
Think about things that we're not good at. Fortunately, usually what I'm weak at, you're strong at, and vice versa.
Yes, we complement each other well.
Except for one thing.
I know what that is.
Okay, you say it. Let's say it at the same time on 1, 2, 3. On 1, 2, 3, and then we'll both say it to see whether we're on the same page. 1. Oh. No, 1, 2, 3. See, you're not good with numbers. Not good with numbers at all. 1, 2, 3. Filing. Yes.
I was all excited to say it. Yes. I know how to count to 3.
Yeah, Jill is. Hey, if something needs to get filed over here at this house,
we both look at each other. And we have tried things,
we have like
electronic filing as well,
and all that.
But we just didn't take the time to do that.
Yeah, well, neither one of us like to file.
Yes,
but
and yet I think we're both pretty organized, though.
Yeah, we can. If I put something somewhere, chances are I know where I put it.
Yes.
I know about where it's at. And the same for you.
Yes, we're both organized.
But if I have to find something that you put away, or you have to find something that I put away, that's a mess.
Unless we ask each other, hey, where did you put that? And we can usually answer.
Yeah, but We need to do better. But that's tough talk. We need to have a real tough talk on. We need to do better, Jill. We need to do
I don't think
better.
that's a tough talk.
I think
It's
it
something that we
is.
both agree on. And we've had the conversation from
No, it's
time to
like,
time.
Jill, where's your will?
That's computerized. That wasn't paper. That was computerized.
So how is yours computerized and mine's in the closet?
No, we did them at the same time. They're both on the computer. We did them at the same time. Maybe you had one before me and you updated it, but we did them both at the same time.
I used to change my will like a couple of times. Like many times.
Have you
I
changed
have
it
changed
since
my
we did
will
it together?
many times.
Well, things change, I guess.
Things change. Like at 1 minute, a relative is in. The next minute, a relative is out.
Well, speaking of that, that's
Tough
a good
talk.
That's
Again,
a good segue. Yes.
Death talk. That
Oh
is a
yes,
tough talk.
I don't like to talk about death. I really don't.
I don't
Because
mind talking about death
yes,
at all.
I noticed.
Death is.
I noticed this about you. Yes.
What's the problem? We're all gonna die. We know this, so
yes,
we need
but
to.
I don't want to. Why do we have to talk about it if we know it's inevitable?
Because you have to plan for death.
Yes, and we do. But I don't feel like we have to talk about it all the time.
What about death cleaning?
yes.
What about
two of our listeners.
Yes, they do the death cleaning. So do we need? I think we should do our death cleaning.
Well, actually, that is a good thing. You want to tell the listeners what that is, in case they don't know?
Well,
two of our listeners told us.
Death clean. Well, I used to know it as getting your house in order. My grandmother used to say, I need to get my house in order. If she said that, she meant she's getting things ready for death.
Oh, so it wasn't biblical? Like, get your house in order. Order your steps.
Isn't dying biblical?
It depends on what you believe, but go ahead.
Okay. So it's when you just get rid of stuff you don't need, you know, a whole bunch of crap around the house. You don't need it. Stuff you're never going to use and all that. And my grandmother actually started giving stuff away before she died. So whoever she wanted to have.
My grandmother did that too. In fact, I have many of her things because of that.
Yeah, so that's part of death cleaning. So you get your house in order.
Well, really, it's so that the survivors don't have to
do that also, but
you're gone. Yes.
Still have to go through the clothes, get rid of the clothes and stuff.
Sure, but if you start to do things like that, then people won't fight over certain things. Like I got my grandmother's jewelry, which I'm sure other people in the family might like, but I was always there talking about her jewelry, so she let me have her jewelry box beforehand.
Yeah. Yes. So again, tough topic, tough talk.
Yes, but I was going to say the segue I was actually going to make was not about death. It was about, and I'm not saying that you and I have this issue, but some people who are in relationships don't like each other's family or friends. So I'm not saying that we have that issue, but I know a lot of people who do.
That is tough talk.
Yes.
So what does a person do when they're in a committed relationship, long-term relationship, but they don't like their partner's family at all?
Well,
how do you have that talk that, hey, I really don't like your family?
Well, I think you don't say it that way. I think that you tell your partner that, first ask if they observed how you were treated by the family members. Many times it's very obvious. For example, if in-laws don't like you, things like that. So just ask if they've observed it, and if they didn't, calmly tell them all the how you felt when they did certain things. And if your partner isn't willing to discuss it with his or her family, then it's up to you to decide how you're going to respond when you're around them. Do you just go to a different room? Do you spend less time with them? That's what I did with previous partners' friends. I didn't like his friends. Majority of them I did not like. So I didn't spend time with them. I would do the obligatory, hi. And then it became too much to spend time with them.
Yeah, and now that you're talking about family and tough topic, tough talk, I find that a lot of people, while they're dating, and if they're dating with the view of marriage, they don't have some of the tough talks, the tough topics they should have before they get married.
You're exactly right.
Like do you want any children?
Yes.
That's a tough talk.
Is it?
Oh yes.
How is it a tough talk?
Because
either you want children or you don't.
But when people are in a new relationship, they try to not have those conversations because they don't want the relationship to go wrong.
Yes, but
get in an argument.
But if that's a deal breaker,
I know, I understand.
The sooner you have that conversation, the better. I'm not saying maybe the first date,
but people do it all the time.
But why get your feelings all into it and then have it?
They know it's a touchy subject, so in their mind they say, "Well, I'll wait till we get married to adjust that, because then we're
too late.
Then we're married, and
then it's too late. You can
that
marriages still break up,
but it's tough talk. It's tough. It's there is a show that's streaming right now, and the main character is Muslim, and he got married to a nice Muslim woman, and things didn't go well for long, because the next morning, so after their wedding night, he said to her, "I believe that I should have 2 wives."
So this is the day after their wedding.
Day after their wedding, he says, "I believe," and this character lived in this country. So he said, "I believe I need to have 2 wives, and I want that woman over there to be."
Well, that's because he had slept with the other woman the night before their wedding. And so his solution to that was not to give up the other woman he slept with, but to have them both. That was his solution.
Yes, but that was a tough talk that should have taken place before.
Well, didn't she leave?
She left him.
As she should have.
Married one day, and she left.
Because that is a conversation you need to have before.
We still don't know where she went, because that was the end of the season. But a tough talk, should have had that tough talk beforehand. But see, he held back.
Well, see, in our situation, we joke and say you have other wives because of my Zimbabwean culture and my sister wives. But you and I have not actually had a conversation. So, sweetheart.
About what?
Do you want more wives?
What? What?
I've never asked you that question. So now I'm like, wait, I didn't ask you that question.
What?
Do you want other wives?
No.
Okay, good. I don't want any other husbands either.
I can hardly afford the one I have now.
I think I resent that comment.
I can't afford one. I've had several friends. They were African from Nigeria, And I asked them about that, multiple wives. And they told me that, yes, we do believe in multiple wives. However, a man should not take on other wives unless he can afford them, which makes sense.
Sure.
You just, yeah.
Sure.
So but again, tough talk. Yeah. So well, you just mentioned, sister wives and things. Do you want to explain how that works?
I don't know how it works.
No,
What do you mean?
So with your Zimbabwe side of the family.
Yes, when you have sisters in my Zimbabwean culture, when you have sisters, if any are married, then they're all married to, the husband is expected to take care, to support your actual wife's sisters. So in that sense, my sisters are married to you too. So you thought you were getting an only child.
I did. I did. It's always funny when we all go somewhere together. And I said, I'll
I'm
say to
wife number
someone,
one.
this is not wife number one,
Yes.
wife number two, wife number three, not wife number four.
Yes. and you're designated them. You're designated that. Well, I'm your actual wife, so I am number one. But I'm also the oldest. So when
the next oldest,
so the next oldest is number two, and so on and so forth.
So
Because I remember that time, like I didn't want to go someplace that you wanted to go on vacation, and then one of my sisters said,
"Number
I'll
2
go," and I was like,
"Oh
no.
Tough talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that was funny talk.
Yeah.
That was fun. We have fun with that. So another thing with friends, sometimes, and this again is not the case with us, but sometimes with friends, some people don't like their friends because maybe all of their partner's friends are all rich, whereas maybe you and your partner are not, and they don't like your friends for that very reason. What do you think of that?
That's a tough one.
Is it? I don't think it is.
That is a tough one.
I mean, why judge people by how much money they're able to make?
Yeah, but that's also it also. I mean, it's like, how can you say, I don't like your friends because they have more money than us? How can you make that decision?
I don't think you can really, because perhaps you make less money than they do because you don't have what they have. There are things you can't change about your income making ability. There's some things in certain workplaces where no matter what, you're going to get paid less than somebody else.
So is this actually a money thing, or is this a class thing?
I think it's an economic disparity thing. So yes, I think it relates to class in some cases.
So let's say it was.
But the lines of class are so blurred these days, wouldn't you say? Like growing up, I felt there was a clear upper class and a clear middle class and a clear poor. But now I think the lines are really blurred because people with lots of degrees can actually be making at the poverty level.
Yeah, quite not much money.
Yes.
Which is a shame.
Yes. So I think the lines are really blurred.
But I don't know, do people even, because we're saying that that's a tough topic,
yes,
tough talk.
It is a tough talk.
But do the people actually discuss it?
I think people discuss income. I do think people discuss income,
but it shouldn't matter.
But I think some people hide their beliefs.
Oh, they hide their beliefs.
I think many people hide their beliefs.
Okay.
Or try to. They try.
So, okay.
But let's get to our second segment that we call
Give it a rest and a resolution.
Do you have a conclusion on this tough topic, tough talk? discussion?
Yes. Well, being that we were just talking about finance, and the amount of money people make, different classes, I think I would, and I don't know if I've ever been guilty of this. I don't know. Somebody else may be able to tell me. I don't think I have, but if I were to say, oh, I don't want to be friends with a person because they don't make enough money, or they're poor, or they live in a poor part of town, I kind of think that would be wrong of me to look at it that
there's no
way.
kind to think about it. It would be wrong. But in relationships, many people will not go out with someone because they think they don't make enough money, or they think they live on the wrong side of town. So people do it all the time. They will, judge you based on what you do. So that's why I always hate the question, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
I always hate that question.
You know where I notice that a lot? In Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes. People always tell you their government rank.
Yeah.
Or whatever that. It's not a rank.
It's a G. Yeah. It's like
score.
a G5, G4.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't give the right answer, they don't want to speak to you.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
So
people always want to know what you do for a living, and I don't like that question. In fact, when I was a journalist, I very rarely told people that I was actually a journalist. I would just say, "Oh, I tell stories," or I would make it quite vague. Because people, whatever you say, a lot of people judge you for it.
Oh, absolutely. Because many times I don't tell people I drive a truck or have driven a truck. Yes. Because immediately
and they don't believe you when you do tell them anyway.
Well, they don't believe I don't look like a truck driver, and anyway. But they don't believe me. But sometimes I walk up to a person and I'll say, "Oh, I hate those truck drivers. It's just so rude and nasty and dirty." And
do you say that to mess with them? Why do you say that?
Yes, I do say that to mess with them. And some of them that have known me for a while forget.
Oh, that you are one?
That I am one.
And then they reveal how they really think about truck drivers?
Yes. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
That is. Well, let's get to our last segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Any tips?
Well, very easy. In the long run, it's better if you have those tough talks on tough topics. It's better for you. It's better for your partner or anyone that you have any kind of connection to just get those out of the way. Painful. Don't want to do it. Things may work out great and things may go bad. But again, that's the way it was supposed to go anyway.
Right. Right. Well, my advice is is a follow-up on what you just said. So do have those conversations early with all of your connections, but also really listen to the answers, because I think it was Maya Angelou who said, when a person shows you who they really are, believe them.
Believe it. That's right.
So that would be my advice, is have the conversations, but actually listen.
Yeah, good advice. Very good.
So anything else you want to say?
Nah.
You're talked out?
That'll do it. That'll will about do it. Yeah, it's a little tough. This episode.
Well, you've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm Right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout outs to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and Dennis and Mary for defining certain terms for us, exposing us to terms we didn't necessarily know. So, and for always commenting. So, by the way, listeners, we always enjoy hearing from you all. So, anytime you want to comment on anything we've said, even if it disagrees with what we've said, still tell us. Let's have those tough topics. Tough talks.
Tough topics.
Yes.
Tough
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's it. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.